Yo, what up? It's your girl V-Henny, man. You already know the vibes. Welcome to the Artistry, where we talk shit about music, entertainment, and the everyday struggles. And you know how we do, man. We always have a dope guest in the building, vibing out, doing their thing, taking over the city. We got your boys right here, Mike Success and Dom. You would think I had a budget, right?
No.
But I don't have a budget.
You do.
We got your boys right here, man, repping this group.
Yeah.
Usually I'm like, yo, welcome to my humble home.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, listen.
I'm going to get the
already know.
tattoos. I'm going to get
You
the
already
tattoos.
know. You already know.
This is you.
You already know.
This is you. Don't worry.
Nah, definitely. I want to say again, man, shout out to you both. I see you guys working, grinding. So it made nothing but sense. You understand? Like, I have the relationship with you. Obviously, we're about to be committed as well, you know?
You know, that's
You
how it
understand?
happens,
I'm one of those
course.
that I get married. You understand?
Yeah.
So prepare for that commitment. You understand?
I got you.
You know, but again, like watching you guys and just like hearing it, because it's not just watching, I'm hearing about you guys. You guys are working. Yeah. So before we dive into anything, I definitely just want to say congratulations to your success, to the future, and everything you guys are manifesting. So you know how we do. We always do the toast.
Little
You
red cup
understand?
action.
So this is to you guys.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And we do this. You know, you understand? I see it. Oh, okay. What is this?
Wow.
Yeah. What is this?
We just found it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
this is
What's the
Jono
name of
Say.
it? Do we know?
We might have to have a conversation.
This is
That shit is
whiskey,
aight.
aka Jono Say.
Yeah.
Nah, that's all right.
That was all right.
Yeah.
This actually was, you know.
All
So, can you both individually give us a summary of your early context of who you are and the roles you guys played?
Early context for me. Grew up in an entrepreneur family. You know,
Yes.
I think I told you on the last time, you know, my grandmother had a bar for 40 years. Grew up around that, not drinking, but just being around the business side of the bar.
He was drinking it like 10.
And then my mom had her own business, and at 10 years old, I named the company, gave it its slogan, got her
Yes.
first 3 orders, and that became, you know, kind of like my introduction to business. My mom used to sing doo-wop. I was around I was just talking to my wife about this the other day. I grew up around a lot of different types of music, talking about like Motown, Elvis, you know, even doo-wop, and then clearly early stages of hip-hop and all that.
Don't tell people your age, though. You know,
No, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about
yeah.
the white that, you know what I'm saying, that comes with experience. Like, especially us being in the young man's game, it's like everybody be scared about that, and it's like, yo, it is what it is. For at least for me, you know what I mean? I'm an elder guy. I'm the bald Puerto Rican. He the big Jamaican. That's how we talk about it.
He's not an elder. This guy is
That's how I feel. Anyway,
talking about elder.
but you know, fast forward, I ended up managing in music. Did all of that stuff, and clearly got to this point. Started with, you know, as far as building this company. You know, I feel like my son and my daughter was Chicle and Maleni. His son was Jufu, and then we had kids together.
Oh, I see how it happened. Okay.
So that's that,
romantic.
and we'll
That's
tell this
romantic.
story after. But I think that's the shorter version. Like, I didn't want to kind of go, because I could talk.
No, I get that. So, and what about you, Don?
I mean, I'm gonna give you. I guess I'm gonna go back when I was a kid too. But so I've always been an entrepreneur. You know, shoveling snow.
Okay.
You know, doing paper routes. Then I opened a clothing store at 17.
Oh, dope.
And then from there, but then I owned recording studios from I was like 17 to about like 20 something years old.
Okay.
So I was very into the music thing. So, and having that, you know, that's a bug that you can't. It's just bugs. It's a bug.
Yeah.
And then getting involved, managing a bunch of artists. My first actually situation I did was with Red Bull, like when I was a teen.
That's dope.
You know, so I was doing the music stuff, and then got involved in tech and music, and then, you know, it just changed the world. And then all of a sudden, I managed my first Vine star. Yeah, it just, I don't know what happened, and then it led me to this like path where we are now. It's like, you know, this influencer space is like a big space.
No, it definitely is.
So I started with a Vine star that was making 6-second vines, and then making bukus amounts of cash a week. And he was also a music artist. So now it kind of transitioned to where I'm at now. So this is kind of like it was supposed to happen, I guess.
That's a great
The
word.
reason why I was
Buku.
asking about like you guys
Buku is a great word.
Yeah,
individually,
I appreciate
you see, this is why they work so well together. You understand? Like,
I
yeah. This is that's romantic. It's romantic.
Oh, it's romantic. It's hilarious.
Nah, but the reason why I was asking individual stories is because if you look at it, you guys really have pretty much same mindset. And where in the hunger, where it's like you guys both grew up with that entrepreneurial mindset. So it's dope because my next question is to I want to know how you guys came together now, making this group.
Yeah.
You understand? The whole outline to everything. How did that happen?
So wait, hold on.
Okay, go
so
ahead. We holding on.
So we have a mutual friend, right?
Okay.
So before, I told the mutual friend, I'm not gonna say his name yet until we dive more into it. I said to the mutual friend, yo, this guy is dope. I follow him. He does his good mornings. His nice little. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna send this dude a message. He said, yeah, you should hit him up. I'm like, so I hit him up, and this dude dubs me to work together the first time. Hit me with the you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, you know what I mean? But it was cool. It was like, all right, well,
It wasn't a full dub.
It was it wasn't a full dub, but it was like a mid dub.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Like almost like here's the email address.
So you was that guy. You know how you have those guys in the chicks DMs like, good morning. How you doing?
I didn't say good morning.
Hi.
I was more like, yo,
business,
we need to work together. My name is Don. Can we put something together? But essentially, I hit him up.
Okay.
And it's crazy. It's like sliding his DMs. Wow.
So wait, the first time, mid rejection.
Mid rejection.
Mid rejection.
Yeah.
Second time he responded.
I don't know.
No, I responded the first time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I responded.
Yeah.
I responded.
It was mid though. It was a mid dub.
So wait, what made it a mid dub?
Yeah, like he dubbed me, like almost like, we should work together. Yeah, all right. You don't want to know? Yeah, one of those. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see his face, but the way it was text, I was
Now
like,
he knows me enough. He's
yeah.
that's hilarious.
But then I don't know what made him respond. Oh, our mutual friend then spoke to him.
Okay.
And was like, nah, y'all should. And then him and I then became. It just started. The conversation just started flowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say, Mike, because I know you're big on energy.
Yeah.
So as soon as you guys met up, was that energy was instant?
So now, fast forward to
'cause-
that. It was a few months, right?
Yeah.
That we were going back and forth, and he was like, yo, you should pull up. You know what I'm saying? And then that ended up happening, came to the office and we met. And it was supposed to be an hour. That's usually what you do for the most part, an hour meeting, whatever. Ended up being there probably 3 hours.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
it just went off.
So then now, this is how you guys came about as far as building the relationship. But what was the initial the conversation where it's like, yo, let's do this. We could be partners.
Ready? Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
It was immediate.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
what
Okay.
happened is the next day, I call him.
Okay.
Now this is gonna be real funny now, right? So I call him because now, mind you, he don't know me and I don't know him like that. It's just the vibe was great.
Can I pause this though?
No, you're definitely gonna pause it.
Yeah.
So I called him. I'm like, yo, bro, I just got out of the shower. I was thinking
Pause.
about you.
Oh.
Pause.
Pause. Big pause.
So the thing is I find out a lot of people in the showers when you come up with a lot of, and
Yeah, no,
me,
it's
that's
true.
like the office, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm like, yo, I said we should join forces, like some coalition aspect of it.
Yep.
We should call it this group. It stands for Trust, Honesty, Integrity, Success. You down? Immediately he was like, yo, let's go.
Yeah.
Then I was like, yo, I got my man in LA. And he was like, yo, I got my man in Atlanta. We were really trying to do some coalition.
Okay.
Good people bringing good business. Because that was kind of our vibe was, you a good dude. You've been fucked over before. Damn, sorry for the algorithm.
No, you can fucking curse.
Okay. Sorry, Jade. And it was like, yo, finding somebody that had the like you said, and you see the like-mindedness of it. It was like, okay, you can call this one, call that one, and we were doing that. And then
Okay.
it just ended up kind of we kind of saw
Who's there?
and it just ended up being where people are still there, but not we just I don't know. Again, organically, it was it happened, and we just both saw the same thing and just appreciative of each other because we've been through stuff individually. Of
Yeah.
being fucked over, screwed over, this one, and just, wearing our heart on our sleeve. And like I said, Don and I we don't give you the shirt off our back. We give you the skin off our back. That's the type of people we are.
Okay.
Right? And then you do that, and it's like, and you be hesitant to come into partnersps.
So would you say, Don, that you guys are reciprocating off of each other's energy? That's how it started, basically, in a
essentially,
sense?
that's how it we didn't know we was gonna hit the ground running that fast.
Okay.
As soon as he called me, I was like, let's do it. It was on to the races. Company was formed the same week. Like boom, boom. It was like one after the other, knocking them out.
How old is the company right now?
2 years. About
2 years?
This is our third.
It's
We're
our
going into our
year.
third year.
Third year. So during pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because was it January 2020?
Yeah. So during pandemic.
It's still a baby.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And the way it's grown is crazy.
Nah, for sure, man. It's been,
I know,
and
it's
we've been called like the silent killers because we're not like loud, right?
Okay.
So we're not the guys that are out there like, yeah, look at us. We're putting this company together and we're doing this. So people call us the silent killers because we just be making moves and we just let the move speak for itself.
So what made you change now the mindset or like the outlook of being, because again, you said you guys were the silent killers, but now obviously you guys have to put the face to the name. So what was the change?
I would say, and I'm going to definitely let you talk on our inspirations as well. I would say we're such in the service business, and everything we do is about the client. Everything is about the client. And that was part of the reason. Like, I got with Don because I was like, yo, he may know more people that'll be great for Chicle and Millennium. And he was like, yo, I'm going to rock with Mike because he may be able to get more things with you.
For sure.
So it was, again, even just coming together was about our clients. You know what I'm saying? And it got to a point where we realized from a brand perspective, like, yo, the brand itself is almost like an influencer, so to speak.
Yes.
And we got to put, like that's why this year I was like, you don't have to know my name.
Yeah.
Just know the company. I don't care. And I got that from Carl, one of my good friends, Carl, one of the founders of Fubu. And he was like, yo, I don't care if people know my name or not. As long as you know my company, I'm good. And he said that to me a minute ago, and I don't know why. I guess in our process, it was like, yo, that's right. Like, you don't need to. So we are... It's all about this. We say that. The trust, honesty, integrity, that's how we live.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to do that and be able to show what we're doing from a company standpoint. And then Don brought something, and I'll let Don tell the story, like how it kind of like, and when he told me this, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I get it, because there was like an example of what he was talking about. So
yeah, so a lot of people now know EYL, the Earn Your Leisure guys, with Rashad and Troy, amazing individuals, right? So the concept of them is that they take their company on the forefront, but they also make sure they put their faces so that people know what they're doing, because the company can't run without you knowing the individuals that are there. So the interesting part about that was they showed a blueprint, and sometimes if it's not broke, don't fix it. So because we're coming from the influencer space, it showed us that, I'm like, yo, Mike, there's really nobody doing it the way we're doing it. So let's take this inspiration and make it a little bit more different, and make it us, and kind of create it a different landscape, especially because we are in the service business and we are in the influencer business.
Yes.
So that is, and everybody wants to know about the influencer business, and it's still fairly new, and it's still a concept of what this new economy looks like. Is influencer.
Yeah.
So that's what we took, that approach.
What I love is that you guys are based on good business,
For
right?
sure. Yep.
Especially in this industry. But, maintaining a successful business is doing good business.
Correct.
Then you have power entering or trying to enter within your success in a
Correct.
sense, right? And that's by either building relationships, maintaining the relationship, because relationship is currency, right?
Correct.
Thinking about the fact of, like, you have books like the 48 Laws of Power, right?
Yep.
You can build your alliances, your partnerships, but you can't fully trust.
Correct.
So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because your motto is trust, honesty, integrity, and success, right? So do you think that there's a balance or a benefit to having a devil's advocate on your team?
that's our CFO.
Yeah.
Okay.
1,000%.
1,000%.
Okay.
1,000%.
Yeah, that's the balance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because,
he's
I know for him, business is personal.
Yeah.
But then again, like with us, or not like I'm gonna say myself. I can't bring other people, but like a person who went to school for business or not. The whole entrepreneur. You know, it's very drilled on us where it's like business. It's business. It's business. It's not personal. You have to, you know, like remove your emotions. So it's like that's what I want to know. Is there balance?
Yeah, I mean, there's somewhat of an emotion when it comes into certain business, but it depends on the relationship aspect of the people that you develop with.
Okay.
And then on top of that, you got to also see if what works best for the business.
Okay.
Right? For like our company, it's going to be what's best for the company.
Okay.
Never what's best for Mike and Don. So even if Mike and Don wanted to do A, but the company needs B, C, D, E, F to survive, we'll do the B, E, C, F to survive, and then spin the block on the on the A as some, as the the youth thing, right?
Yeah.
Spin the
Okay.
block.
And I'm going to tell you something about
Go
that
ahead.
because I know you remember, as far as I always say, business is always personal. And, because I'm an emotional
Yeah.
person, right? It's like, and he and I speak every morning, you know what I mean? So it's like whatever the day is, whatever. And I started to realize, because you can evolve, right? There's things that you can, business is always personal. Some people take that so much at face value. And it's like, I say that because I'm dealing with a person, right? I'm dealing with V, right? But I've realized and I've made strides for myself, right? Like, everybody doesn't have to have, like, kind of going where you're going with this, everybody that I do business with does not have to have the same cut cloth exactly like me, passionate, give the skin off. They don't have to have that. And that's what I was doing. There were certain people like that I would sit there and be like, I don't even want to rock with them because they're not like me. But then that's almost being like a hypocrite because I'm such pro everybody be themselves. So now, as long as you're not an asshole and as long as you're not foul, I could rock with you. May not be how I am, and that's cool. I could still do business with you. And I've started to make that in this past year.
Okay.
Because I'm always evolving myself.
Okay.
I like to make sure that I do that because I'm not the end all be all, right? I've learned a lot from Don. I've learned a lot from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like, how you write. Like, I can learn from everybody.
Yes.
And I know a lot of things, and I'm confident in the person in the mirror. But on a business setting, I've realized this past year that everybody don't gotta be me. So I
Yeah.
gotta start taking my own advice because it's always harder to do that.
Yeah,
And that's what
yeah.
I've learned this year as far as with that whole what you're saying.
Yeah. I want to know because I'm like, how the fact of you guys going from your client to your clients to now expanding. How did that happen? Because it's like, I'm gonna keep it a stack. Like, it went from like I remember just like following when after you was on the show, like following your business page, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you guys just started going. It's like client, new client, this client,
Yo, so-
and I was like, damn, bro, like what do you like?
Nah, so the best part about that is that the reputation goes around.
Okay.
So that's the biggest thing. So the representation of far as how we rep our clients, and that goes around from word of mouth. So a lot of individuals that you see us even announcing, it wasn't us poaching anybody. We didn't be like, yo, you need us to manage you. It was more of like, hey, I need y'all to manage us.
Gotcha.
And then we don't manage every single body, but essentially we do have the core group that we do have. It became this like, yo, how many clients y'all do got? Like, to this day. But because we're the new kids on the block, people, they essentially send their people to us to kind of
Gotcha.
say, you need to talk to them about management.
But this group is not solely just based on management.
No, it's
you
not.
guys is marketing and media.
Marketing, media, music.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
all
encompasses,
of that,
production.
and it's hard too
Yeah.
with
Yeah, I
that
can
because like
imagine.
with what Don was saying as far as for the company and not Mike and Don, right? What's very difficult for us to do is if somebody comes and reaches out for a client, and maybe the client doesn't want to do it. Now it's like, okay, but for the business,
Yeah.
we might have somebody else
Yep.
to do that. But we're very particular about that, right? Because it's like somebody calls for you, you don't want to do it. If you don't want to do it, it's different. But if it becomes there's a fine line because
Okay.
what we don't want to do is we're managers, but then we're also owners of a company,
Okay.
right? So it's like, okay, as long as you're okay. If you say no and then you see another client doing it, we don't want our clients to be like,
Why?
yo, they
Why?
reached out for me and now because I didn't want to do it, what'd you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very difficult to navigate that because of, there's, I don't want to.
Egos.
It's egos.
Yeah.
And, how come that dude got that? You know what I mean? It's very different. That's why, like, what we try to do is like what we're doing now, as far as be at the forefront. A lot of people like to work with us because of our clientele.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is flip it so that people want to work with us because of the
what
company and the brand and what we stand for. And everything we stand for is something that needs to be in the forefront now. It's just time. You know what I mean? And
sure.
we're building the team. We've made some mistakes on people on the team,
Yeah,
and it's just
that's
like
a fact.
2022. We
Was
shook off a
interesting.
lot at the
Yeah.
end of the year.
How you flip that? Because that's a lot to take in. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of like discipline.
Yeah, I think we have, because what happens is that whether it comes in to me, him, or the email that we both have access to, we kind of have the conversation. It's almost like
Gotcha.
sometimes I feel a certain way, and I'll say this to Don, and Don will be like, well, yeah, but this, that, like there's, we have to have a conversation. It's never just shooting from the hip. It's never, I'm gonna send this email, yo, I just did this. Especially in those scenarios. It's a lot easier when a brand reaches out for a client and they do that, because then it's a lot easier for us to be like, now we can develop a relationship with said brand and be like, hey, by the way, we also have this. Oh, I didn't know that, because we're realizing a lot of brands don't deal with that, like they're dying to just deal with one person.
Gotcha.
Especially professional people.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh wow, I didn't realize you had this. The heart, what I don't want to do, and Don is in the same, it's like, I don't want to be a CEO before I'm a manager.
Gotcha.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Right? Because as a manager, and
That's
in
the
this
core.
industry, you're trying to protect and protect your
Absolutely.
client, right? And they have to trust that. Now, when you become a CEO and you put that before your client, you start to become just like these brands.
So do you think I'm looking at it like it's a gift and a curse.
It is.
It is.
So, because it's like,
It's the name of my album.
I mean,
do an album.
it
With the new
should be,
EPMD.
right? No,
That's an old
because
reference.
You're
Look it
looking
up.
at it, it's like wearing that shoe as a manager as
Yeah.
well. Like, you have to be like the parent, right?
No,
So we already know that.
Of course.
Right? But it's like, to have a successful business, you also have to like
Yeah.
separate from that managerial role and put your CEO hat. And you're going to have to be sometimes the asshole.
There's a lot of that though. We have to, it's because it's a daily hustle with that type of situation.
Okay.
Right? So you essentially we're dealing with, being the CEO, the COO of the company, and making sure that it operates and functions the way it's supposed to. And then we're managers. That's the core of us, though. The core where we came together was we came together as managers. So we're looking at it as that we have to make sure that we have to find a balance.
Okay.
So being the for the company and for the influencer, but then you got to understand too is we're combating the people like the brands that want to shortchange the black and brown influencers. So now we have a bunch of things that we have to deal with. Not even just the big brands, even the small brands. They're thinking it's because they're brown and black that they won't do the same kind of deals, but they won't go to other individuals like that. So we have to now put on so many different hats because we have to deflect it from the influencers and even ourselves because you have to know what you're worth. So this is what they say, you don't get what you get what you negotiate. So essentially, we always have to be negotiating, even with the influencers sometimes. Because when I say, and I use that word very loosely for our influencers, but because we have to let them understand what is going to be the gift from this opportunity opposed to the curse. So
Okay.
it's very, very like seesawing, but Mike and I definitely found a balance to
Gotcha.
it. Yeah.
So you said that's the core. What would you say would be the heart?
I think it would be different. For me, the heart is media. For him, the heart is probably music.
Yeah, we have different.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because it's like those are like our passion pieces. Let's just say.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? So anybody comes to me to talk about music, I'm like, you don't even talk to me.
Yeah.
I love it. I can say, talk to that. Talk to him.
Yeah,
Talk to Don. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's right. Like it'd be two different answers, but the brain aspect of it, it's almost connected, right? So,
Yeah.
So the core don't work without nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So we're grounded because of the management. So we have to. That's the biggest thing for us is that management aspect kind of like shapes everything, and it helps all the body organs operate
Yeah.
in sequence.
At what given point within the startup of the company to now, right? Would you say you both started realizing like, okay, this is taking off?
I don't know because it was, we always have those conversations too to make sure we step back and be like, damn, look at where we came from. Like, because like you said, for a company to get going into its third year, we've accomplished a lot.
Absolutely.
Because we've put our head down and just go, right?
Yeah.
I think it took longer because, like I told you, we came back, like just to say we were like scorned businessmen, right? And it took a minute for us to hit our stride.
Okay.
Because brand comes over here, situation over there. Me and Don, naturally, let's both be there.
Correct.
Because our skin was, we've been in situations before, right? And we trusted each other from rip, but I think it was embedded in us that we both have to be there.
Yeah.
Because I've been in situations, I know he's been in situations where it's like, if I'm not there,
It don't work.
I might get cut out of a situation.
Okay.
But
And
we
it,
don't act like that.
yeah, and it just took us a minute, right? So now it's like we're able to work more efficient because I'm here, Don's there. That makes business a lot easier because what happens is Don comes back, tells me about what happened over there. I come back, tell him what's going on, and then there's situations that we are there together, right? Because it's needed. But then, how do you grow when you have two people that have to be everywhere?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to trust. And that's why it's a big thing for us. And those things took a little while. And I think me and him had a conversation. I was like, yo, I think we finally get into our stride.
Yeah, sure.
You know, because it's like, yo, we both want to be everywhere because this is our company. This is our baby. And we both want to be everywhere, but we can't.
You cannot,
right? Because there's things that happen, whether personal or, I just can't be there.
Yep.
As long as one of us could be there, that's what we tell a lot of people. Like, just let one of us know. You don't have to let both of us. You don't have to wait to get us both on the call. Just let one of us know. Because we're going to tell each other. And it's not like if Don forgets to tell me 2 days later because there's so much stuff going on. Oh, you know what? That's right. I forgot to tell you. It's not like I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're flowing and we're going.
Yep.
So it's, I think at the end of this year was one of the times that we were like, yo, bro, look what's happening. Like, seriously, because there's so, like, I still can't believe it, and I want to take those small, and we have to, because he and I had a conversation, and we have a bunch of conversations, but, we made some mistakes.
Yeah, for sure.
And I told him, I said, yo, bro, what we're trying to build is legacy. We always talk about that for our grandkids that are not here. And I'm like, your grandfather wasn't John D. Rockefeller, and neither was mine.
Yep.
And that was legacy that they built for their family and their lineage. We're going to make mistakes because we hustle and we're going to go. But we have to be able to make these mistakes so that our kids and our grandkids and our great-grandkids, like, we want them to be like, yo, damn, Grandpa did his thing. But we're going to make the mistakes, and we can't beat ourselves up because we're older, right?
Yeah.
I'm older.
I was going to ask that, though, about the mistakes because, it's like, you can make the mistakes, right? And there are moments where you take it in and you beat yourself up. So it's like, how you get to a point where you're like, it happens. I'm just gonna learn from it and keep it moving, opposed to just allowing the feelings to eat you up. You understand?
So for me, as far as understanding that we've got something successful, it was a little bit different for me, more so. Last year I lost my wife, and
sorry to hear that.
thank you. I pulled up to the funeral, right? And I was in there, and before I got in, I just saw all these individuals in black shirts, right? And I'm like, my father-in-law calls me, and he's like, yo, who are those people outside? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I just saw the black. I didn't see who was there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because there's like a bunch of people just standing outside. I'm like, I don't know. I said, probably, whatever. So I go and take a look, and it was damn near the whole company.
Oh, wow.
So for me, I was like, wait, this might be a little bit different than what I thought. Because, people send their condolences, everybody this.
Yeah.
But nobody shows up, right? Sometimes, my condolences, my prayer, my prayers, and this is that. But when people show up for you, it tends to does something different to you when it comes to your core, right?
Yeah.
So that day, was a very emotional day for me. And that also then I looked and saw the support that they gave me. Those are the individuals that I, essentially would do whatever for, because they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to take the time out their day to come and support my family and myself. So, and I'm not saying that, they can do no wrong, because obviously, everybody's gonna bump heads, but in the sense of understanding what we've built and the way Mike and I are, it wasn't like we had to pull anybody's, he didn't have to pull anybody's arm for them to be there.
Yeah.
He just told them and they all showed up. So for me, it's a different than, for him, because it just showed me that from a company standpoint, they respected him for telling them, and me and my family, just because of the sacrifices we've done thus far for them.
I love the dynamic between the two, because you can tell organically you guys are there with communication, with transparency,
1,000,000%.
and that's really hard to find with business.
Yes.
And
you know why too, Ovi? Because we've had that trial and error. So you see like how nowadays, the entrepreneur is such a trendy situation.
Yes.
But see, most people don't understand what an entrepreneur is.
Absolutely.
And especially in this new generation where they start a job Monday and they want to be the boss Friday. So the difference is we've had the trial and error in order for us to become that successful. So when it comes to the communication, I probably wasn't a good communicator in other businesses that allowed me now to be better communicator now.
Okay.
So everything we speak about, I'll call every morning, every single day, 8 a.m., 8:15, we're on a call every day to discuss what we're doing, how we're doing it, without fail. Like seriously, like even on a Saturday and a Sunday, like when they're supposed to be downtime, we're like, yo, we're firing. You know what I'm saying? To see. So these conversations that we have every day, sometimes go into some bullshit, like just because we're friends too, but majority of the time is how do we elevate the company, and that's the biggest thing for us. Those 8:15 a.m. calls become the success of our business because we speak every single day.
And I think also what makes you both stand out. Entrepreneurship, that you mentioned, is a trend, right?
For sure.
And everybody's like, I want to be the boss. I want to be the boss.
For sure.
But it's like what I see that stands out with you both is the fact that it's not about being the boss. It's about being a leader.
Oh, that's a fact.
And not a lot of people understand that concept when it comes to being an entrepreneur. It's not about being the boss. You have to understand how to be a leader, because you have to lead others to the success.
1,000,000%. And also to have them to empower other leaders. So essentially, that's what we're doing. So Mike and I don't ask anybody nothing that we won't do. If we're in our spot, we sweeping, we mopping, it doesn't matter. No job's too big or small for us to do it. But we're not gonna ask you nothing that we won't do ourselves. The thing is,
done already.
Done.
Yeah.
But you know what it is because nowadays some of the mentality aspect is that this entitlement. So because everybody's entitled, or most people I should say, is that certain people are entitled. It becomes this thing, and at the moment we can't play tug of war with that, because the way you win is hard work, right? And also work smart.
Yeah.
So we're trying to show those two things. The thing is that people sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other, and then you be like, man, you red in the face, and you're like, wait a minute, you know what? Maybe this is not for them. I have to go to something else, and that's what we've been doing.
So how do you guys go about selecting or choosing your clients?
We take them to the tattoo shop
And
nah.
thug it out, bro. Thug life. I
So
see.
hold on quick, Mike. Our clients thus far, honestly, is a text message from them.
But even if they're reaching out to you, let's
Okay.
just say, right?
Yeah, they have.
Because if they reach out to you, you'll be like, yo, I'm going to reach out to you and be like, yo, I want to work with you. And let's just say, I don't know, like, my work ethic doesn't speak volume or whatever it is,
I
you
got
know?
you.
So how is it that you go about moving forward with a client, whether they reach out to you or not?
Character.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have, as Mike said, a bazillion followers, and we won't fuck with you. It's just keeping a buck. Like we've turned down some of the biggest influencers because of the character base, and because they don't fit the mold of what we want. So, and maybe some people be like, man, that's stupid. You guys, these people, you should just want to make his money with them. That's the difference. Is that it's not just making money. We want to actually help build careers. See, it's not about moments. It's about careers, and people forget about that.
Yeah. And it's crazy, right? Because I know in your deck, right? So I wanted to speak on is how can you explain how influencers are being exploited for their talent yet are
Yes.
being left out
he's
to dry
hype.
when unstable to maintain a level of relevancy?
Well, the thing is that how we approach this influencers of the new hip hop. That's how we see it,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
In the early stages of hip hop, people, once they started to see that there was money being made, brands and companies were taking advantage because nobody knew what the hell it was.
Okay.
Right? This is a new hip hop, and we know what it is. At least for us, right? We're gonna tell you what it is. There's a lot of things, like Don said. It's not just about the moment, right? A lot of these companies, agencies, they're getting involved. Why? Because of money. And I get it. No disrespect. We're coming from a different aspect. We're coming to sit there and be like, yo, you can build a career here. And we're going to tell you how. Because we've done it.
Okay.
They're not. And again, no disrespect to anybody else. They would handle their business and do what you do.
For sure.
But the thing is that these influencers, and especially now going to the black and brown aspect of it, we have witnessed a lot of the discrepancies. And that's something that we're going to show. Hey, look, we're going to be who we are. And we're going to show you what it is, because that's, like, being cultured is, like, cool. Let's talk about entrepreneurship, being trending.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about the culture. Listen, just because you have a black or a Hispanic person in your ad or in that does not make you cultured. It just means you have a black or Hispanic person. Culture is different, right? And you have, in all honesty, a white person could be cultured
Yeah,
because they're
for
around
sure.
the culture,
Yep.
right? And you can't sit there and put a face to say, oh, that's culture. No, it's not. And we're really big. Like I said, we're big on that. We want to be one of the companies that, hey, an agency, management, whatever, you come here and be like, hey, listen, we're going to do, we have an insurance program for health insurance where we're going to pay 50% of your insurance. Like, we want to do stuff like that. Clearly, we're not in a spot like that right now, but our
Oh, I thought
motives.
you was gonna pay for my insurance. I was like, okay.
We're like, where's the tattoo shop?
yeah,
Okay,
it's
right now.
tattoo
We're
shop.
actually working on that. We're working on that now.
We're trying to do all
we're
of
doing
these
that.
things, right? You
Okay.
gotta you kids and people have to understand, and I just say kids just because, and I don't mean kids disrespectful. It's like, again, I'm 48 years old, so if you're 25 and you're 30, or you're 30, you're a kid, right? Not in a disrespectful way.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. That's
No,
a compliment. No,
no,
let me stop.
no, but seriously, and it's like you want to help because you don't have to. How we are built, we got to help the next generation.
Yeah, for sure.
I come from, and Don comes from, it takes a village to raise,
Okay.
right? And we want to be able to help that next. This is a new industry, but the values are the same. This is the music industry. This is hip hop all over again.
Yeah, it is.
It's
I like that
all
concept.
over again. And the thing is that the difference is that we have experience now, and we have models and examples of things that got screwed and fucked over.
Okay.
It's not happening over here. It's not like, and that's why trust is very big for that first word, because it's difficult. Like for him, with Jufu, they built the trust. With Chicle and Millennium, the trust was there, right? Because we had it. There was a relationship. Chicle, my nephew, right, through marriage. So it was there. I know him since he was 9.
Yeah.
Right. I told one of our other clients. I said, listen, no one with me will ever have the relationship that I have with Chicle. It's impossible. I know him since he was 9.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But the values in the court and what I do for him is going to be the same I do for you.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to we have to show with, examples, right? It's not, it's like, it's the game, right? Hey, trust me. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of the way we approach things are not, hey, like that, hey, I want to be managed by you. Okay, great. Here's paperwork. Sign this.
Yeah, no.
That's not like, to me, that's, I get it, but we don't move like that.
Yeah.
It's like meeting somebody at a bar for the first time, be like, hey, come live with me. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just met you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So we try to do all of those things, and we're protectors. I feel like that. And I think because of our age, we're able to do that. And people got to feel the energy. You know what it is. It's the energy. And energy is a bunch of different things, right? But you got to be able to feel, hey, can I trust these guys? Because if you don't, then go that way. It's not a problem. Like, we're not going to sit there and stress people. Right? And that's something that we've had to do too, because if we see talent in somebody and they're not doing something, I have a problem with that. He's probably better than I am with that.
Okay.
But it's like, I want to be able, I want to help you. I want to be on the white horse and come and save you. And it's difficult.
That's where you
That-
come.
but
Because
that's
that's what I was gonna ask you.
the
Like, if they're
balance.
unable to maintain that relevancy or the work ethics, right? And I'm talking about your clients, right? Like,
Right.
what is it that you do to help them to get to the next phase to elevate?
So the work ethic is different. See the relevancy thing is we can deal with.
Okay.
But the work ethic thing is you can't buy work ethic. I mean,
Yeah.
and then what we'll do is we'll probably encourage until we be like, yo, listen, this may not be something you want to do, because at the end of the day, if we have to tell you that you have to do it, it's really, and we consistently have to tell you this is not for you.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you can have all opportunity in the world, and it will go down the gutter because you won't make one step. And that's, I think, and that's where with Mike and I, we've now come to terms like, yo, we have to take this step.
Yeah.
This is our first podcast together. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you get to have that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I'm on
And
it.
to really, essentially, and we appreciate you even thinking about us doing this, because ultimately you saw the value in us. See, that's the difference. We appreciate that you saw the value in us, so that we can do this and give you, you know, whatever the gems that we have to give for the individuals that are looking to come into this business. So influencers are very egotistical.
No, really?
Nah, you know, and it depends on who they are, because you know, everybody wants to be like the other one.
Yeah.
Because they all say they're not watching, but they're watching. You know what I'm saying? Well, how he or how she get this? So we have to be very careful. And sometimes the work ethic is just, you can't buy it, and if they don't have it, we can't instill it. We just have to allow them to do them.
What about the relevancy?
The relevancy aspect, look, relevancy is essentially almost like a crowd, whatever the crowd pleases is, right?
Okay.
So whatever pleases the crowd is relevancy. Dudes that run through their head through the wall, people does relevant, right? People that go around slapping people and running away and saying it's a prank is relevant. The thing is that what does relevancy look like to them? Because you may have an influencer that is out there making all this money, and their face is all out there, and that's relevance. But then you have another influencer that doesn't have their face out there, but is still making the same amount of money, and he or she is still relevant because they can pay their bills. And they go, listen, I have the numbers, I have this, but I don't have to be the next person. I don't got to be that person. I can be this. So it depends.
Okay.
You know, so because, you know, everybody is like, oh, this one's unrelevant, this not relevant, you not relevant. Well, who's to say? Everybody has a base.
I feel like right now, because of social media, you know, these platforms gave everybody that chance or that opportunity to have the opinion.
Opinions, of course.
To tell you what's right, what's wrong, what's
yep.
this, what's that, and then contradict yourself and etc. You understand?
For
So
sure.
it's like, so I give it to you guys because again, a lot of you, what you're working with is, from what I see, is influencers,
For sure.
and that is a market where there is a lot of egos.
Yeah.
You know, and
No,
then not only
really.
that, now you got to also look at it like you said. It is. I didn't look at that concept, but it's true how it's like the new hip hop in a
Yeah,
sense,
for sure.
right?
1000%.
So it's like you have to prepare yourself as a team now
Yeah.
for the new changes that are constantly happening.
Always.
So how is it that you guys like stay above that?
Just,
Well, I'll say as far as, you know, it's just being prepared. Again, we always say the person's more important than the business. So, you know, kind of going back to when you said, how do you get clients and stuff like that? And Don said it's character, right? So we want to, from a management perspective, because we represent a lot. We
Yeah.
partner with another company. We have 2 billion in social
reach.
media eyeballs.
Yeah, reach.
Okay.
Right? And that's representation. That's really transactional. Hey, you
Yeah.
need these numbers? Okay, cool. When it comes to management, that's me and Don's time, energy, mind, all that.
Yep.
So we make sure that the people that we say we're going to manage, if you come, we say, what is your ultimate goal? We always say that. Yes, I know you got these followers, whatever. What's your ultimate goal? If somebody says, yo, I'm trying to get this bread, we're probably not going to manage you. Not saying that we're the greatest thing since, you know, I'm saying in the world.
sliced bread. you know
But
what I
that's
mean?
just
Yeah, yeah.
something, I'm not interested in that. Listen, we're trying to get money, but the thing is that
You want the longevity.
right, because if you
career.
want to write, if you want to produce, I want to hear that.
Yeah.
Because then you can influence, you be an influencer, do this, use content, this, that, and then now you have a career.
Yep.
It's not just about the numbers and the followers and getting money for the weekend. Like that's who we want to be around. Again, for careers and leaders and everything like that. So that when you are like that, you now can make the shifts of what new comes here, because tech is always going to be constantly changing.
Always.
Like for us, even younger influence, what is it? And what we're doing is we're trying to, just on a sidebar, we're working on building a curriculum out
Yeah.
for all of these careers: influencer, manager, videographer, photographer. You got to know how to do this, like, so that we can maybe skip a year or two in people's mistakes. If people want to go do that, like, do this first. Trust me. We've been down this road.
For sure.
And then you hear, if you have, a chicle walk into a room to tell you about how he did whatever, you know him, you say, okay, cool, I'll do that. If you talk to the managers that have dealt with this, you'll do that, right? It's not like a teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, telling me about whatever. So, again, it goes back to the core. I think the core of our business is the people.
Gotcha.
And again, like I said, representation, we have to have that. Like, we had to get with that company because the business is so transactional. Because if we sit here from a business perspective, we can't just be like this. This is us, and this is our makeup, and this is our mission. But from a business perspective, we have to get that in because they bring something that we don't have.
Yeah.
So it was perfect to do that. So, Brand A comes and says, hey, I like your guys. I would love to do this because some people don't even know we have that capacity.
Yeah.
Right, because it's these conversations, but trying to stay on the forefront and trying to be around good people. That's the basis of everything. Being around good, because good people can shift, good people can pivot, and when you have kind of like a brain trust and a circle, and sit here where I can sit here and I can talk to Don because he'll help me with stuff, just like I'll help him with stuff, just with any influencer, any talent that we have, we can have these conversations, and then we can. I wanted to do this. Oh, I found somebody just came out with that. Okay, now what?
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like now we live in a place where it's like people are giving themselves titles,
Yeah.
right? Like right there and then. It's like without the experience or without the knowledge. So because you guys came from, with your back end, your backstory, your accomplishments, you guys were still managers. So I want to know, in your perspective, what's the definition of a manager? Because I just feel like a lot of people give themselves titles like, yo, I'm a manager, and then it's just their boys.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, that's where it
Like,
starts.
it does start, but then sometimes it's just like, I'm just giving this person the title just to give because I need the look.
Yeah, but look, there's almost like, so real quick to just go in, but that's the look too, like the entrepreneur aspect of management, like going into management. Everybody wants to say they got an LLC.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, everybody wants to go, I'm a CEO. There's a lot of broke CEOs out there. You know what I'm
there
saying?
is,
Like,
there is.
so everybody, I'm a CEO. I'm like, what are you a CEO of? Oh, I'm a CEO of such and such and such and such. But they don't even understand how to operate even the business correctly to even call themselves that. I'm not saying that you can't have that in your heart and your mindset, but before you start going and saying these things, let the business run first and let's see how that goes. From a manager standpoint, like to bring it back to the question, honestly, it's a kind of a well-rounded kind of answer. It's like, because essentially a manager is what we're not though. We're not a financer. We don't finance your stuff at all. So you can go find a financer to finance your stuff, right? We are definitely a therapist. We're not a psychiatrist, so we don't prescribe nothing, right? But we outside of those things, we are definitely you essentially, when we manage you essentially become our kid, because that's what management is. It's almost like being a parent, taking the aspect of blood, like being like blood related, but essentially, if we make money together and they want to see you do good, you want to see them do good, you essentially become family. But being related and being family is two different things. Blood just makes us related.
Absolutely.
Family makes it different. I've made some coins with this man over here to take care of our families. And I'm not saying that that's the basis of our relationship is about money, but essentially we care about each other enough that we know that's important. So we become the parent for that influencer. And it sounds crazy, but that's how it is. It's constant conversation, constant reinventing how they feel, what they want, because their emotions are here one day. You talk to them tomorrow.
I get it.
Yeah, so we now become this force for them, because before they call anybody else, they call us. We have influencers that before they even call their parents, they're calling us like, "Yo, what do I do?" So there's a different aspect of that from the emotional side. From the business side, we still have to be what's right for their brand. We have to become their manager because we essentially become the president of their company, because they're the CEOs of their company, because they're the person that runs the day-to-day, which is they're themselves. We become the president of the company that operates the business. Like, hey, guys, I need you guys to do this. So we're making sure that all the I's is dotted and the T's are crossed. So there's so many different waivers from management, but having good managers and this is how you know you have a good manager is when you know everybody wants them.
Gotcha.
And thank God that everybody wants us.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would say on the come up, right? If you're first, like what you're saying, because that happens a lot. I speak about that a lot. Like you look to your circle, we'll use music. Hey, you know how to speak, good. You be my manager.
Yeah,
I trust you. You my cousin.
Yep.
In the beginning, a manager is everything.
Yep.
And I mean everything. Like Don said, they're not supposed to finance. But what happens is because when you have somebody that supports you, somebody thinks, hey, I'm going to put some bread in. That's not a manager. Now you're partners, right?
Yep.
Like I'm
Absolutely,
financing you and I'm investing in you.
Yep.
But a manager will sit there and if you have a car, you're driving. You know what I'm saying? You're the assistant. You're all of that.
Yep.
You're every single thing because if you're building a company, the manager, that's the piece you have, that person has to play everything. Right? And I'll use my example as far as with Chicle at the very beginning. It was difficult, right? I'm his uncle. Right? So we're going, and at the time I was, 5 years ago, so I'm like 43, right? Whatever, 42, 43. He's doing hostings. It was a team of me, him, and Melanie. And I would go. 42 years old, I don't want to be in no club at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. But it's what you had to do.
Yeah.
Right? Went there. I was the road manager. I was doing everything, emails, all of this stuff until you develop. And then it's like, okay, you going on a road. We got somebody. We found somebody. I don't need to go there anymore. So now it's an overseeing. And that's kind of like what happened for me with them, what he did with Jufu. And now for us, it's what we do, like oversee for the business. But, the manager is not an agent either.
Yeah.
Because what happens is some people be like, yeah, I need a manager, and then immediately it's like, yo, okay, yeah, I need some deals.
Yeah,
It's not what it is.
Yeah.
It's not what it is. There's agencies that do that, and we are an agency, so we kind of have a lot of stuff in here. But if we're managing you, we're the people that you talk to and say, hey, where do you want to go? How do we go about that? Let's talk about ideas about the content you want to create. Where do we want to go? Okay, this makes sense. This play makes sense. Strategizing.
Yeah.
All of those conversations you got to have because we are your business partners now. We become babysitters. It depends. Certain ones, and definitely a therapist by far. But the thing is that a lot of people, like what you said, especially in hip hop, let me get a manager because I want the look. Oh, just talk to my manager.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want that just to say that.
Yeah.
Right? And then some people just want to be a part. They don't have the talent that the talent has. Hey, I'm going to be their manager. And then they want to become the talent. Yeah, and that's the problem, too.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
I've seen that a lot. Where like I've had people talking about I manage an artist, but I want you to put me in your platform to perform, right? And it's like, but you have an artist. Like I thought you came to approach me about the artist, but there's the opportunity was better for them in a sense, right? And it's like, so why be? For me, it's like I always looked at it. It was like if you want to be an artist, don't manage an artist.
1,000%.
You can't do that.
Like
1,000%.
I just feel like in anything you go into, know what you're getting into.
Correct.
And then if this is something you're passionate about it, then educate yourself, continue learning, continue elevating. You understand? So that's why the reason why I wanted to mention that is because again, you guys you guys been managers for years.
Yeah, for sure.
And you was able to see the elevation within the music industry, within the entertainment world, and so on and forth. And it's like, it's educational for people to understand when they're playing a role, know what you're getting into.
And be the role. And be whatever role that is. And the thing is that it was difficult for us to do this now. Like to sit there and say, damn, we have to be the faces of the brand. Because again, Don and I hold the light.
Right now. I ain't gonna lie.
We hold the light.
Is it?
We want to put the shine
I
out.
love it, but it's.
But that's what it is. You want to.
We have to get.
You got to do it.
We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
And this is super uncomfortable for me, and I know, I'm speaking for myself, but I know for Mike, because ultimately we're the guys that's behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
So we're the guys that's actually, give me your phone. Yo, you got to be here, or you got to do this. Is that? And speak to my manager, and we're the ones connecting the dots, or this. That's what we're doing. Now that we have to be on the forefront, essentially, it becomes like, wait, we don't want our influencers to think that we're trying to outdo them. So now, because remember, we have to now deal with that aspect of egos. And I'm not saying that they're going to do that, but you just never know. Then we also have to understand that we have to now create this allure of what this group is. That's the biggest thing. That's the driving force to this, is that people see it like, yo, listen, they're pushing, positive business, good business, what the influencer world is like, what the influencer world is not like, giving, what's going on even with the brand aspects of this of this space, how to create a business out of this, because remember, this is still business. People be forgetting that, and that is not just, hey man, come to the club and I'll give you some bottles and you can. That's not what this is anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then from a manager standpoint, most people don't even have things to manage. So when they do reach out to us too, it's like there's so many different pieces to this thing, because they want you to manage something that's you don't even have anything to us to manage. So we can't even do that. The influencers that do have stuff for us to manage, we have to prioritize them from who's doing what and then who's not doing something. So we're able to give the best like support given for the influencers.
Okay. Yeah. No, and I respect that.
Yeah.
And this is why, again, it's vital to understand the roles.
Correct.
Oh yeah, the best is with the DMs though. Yo, I need a manager, holla.
Yeah.
I could imagine. That's what, because you're saying like I need the manager, and it's like you mentioned something that you don't have anything to manage.
Yeah, you don't.
And I had this conversation today actually, where I was like, sometimes people don't. I'm gonna say artists, not people. Artists don't realize that you might not need a manager. You might just need a publicist or this. Like understand what the role of a manager is, because you don't. I've gotten many times like, yo, can you manage me? You don't have anything for me to manage you. But I understand, because they're looking at you guys. You guys are currency.
Yeah.
You understand?
So you think, and that's
value right
but
there.
But it's funny because it's not even the influencer. Even our artists, I should say, even the influencers though, if they may have a project or somebody, because not any of ours, but I've speaking to managers that their influencers is like, yo, I have a project, you need to fund it, and he's like, well, I'm your manager. So yeah, that's what managers do, don't they? They didn't even. He had to sit down one day and kind of break down what managers do. So it's it's very interesting to especially in this space, to just kind of like showcase what a manager is and what an agent is, etc.
And people want artists. Right? They're a manager and they want to say, hey, I have 4,000, whatever. Yeah. But for what? What does that do? That's more for you, right? And our conversations, again, from a market, even like a marketing standpoint, like our manager, like we could sit there. It would be. I don't want to say it would be great if people have numbers or whatever for us to be like, yeah, we manage them. That sounds great for us. But what are you getting? Because if we can't put the time into, right? We had a call with somebody for a product, right? They had a budget. They had money for marketing. We had the conversation. We said, you're not ready for it.
That's a fact.
What's the point of view? We could
tough.
We were like, yo, we could take your money.
Yeah.
We could do that, and then we can jazz it up and be like, hey, we did our part.
Yeah.
But we actually give a shit, which is the slogan that I always wish we could have. Yeah. This group. We actually give a shit.
Yeah, I mean,
we tell you we're not going to take your money. You can go to another agency, they're going to take it.
We say a lot of no's, man. We say a lot of no's. Like this is not the no's.
Obviously, if he said no to you, let me stop.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Your man dubbed me. You heard? But we say no to a lot of people.
I respect that.
Yeah, because people come and dangle that carrot, and and we like, all right, cool, but we're not doing it.
No, I respect that. You know why I respect it? For me, everybody's different, right? I look up to you guys, right? I look at him like he's a mentor, right? So if I'm going to come to you and I'm like, yo, I need help. Matter of fact, I went to him and I told him, like, yo, I need help. I want this. He kind of dubbed me too.
See? He's a dubbing king, this guy.
But I respect it. You know why? Because, again, everybody's different.
Yeah.
So for me, I look at it where it's like, I look at a no as a next opportunity.
Of course.
So it's like, okay, how can I flip that no to a yes? Yes. I respect it because sometimes the no's are needed. It's what we want. There's a difference between the needs and the wants.
Correct.
So you guys give brands, your clients, and just people overall what they need. Whether it's what they want to hear or what they don't want to hear.
Right, but I fuck with you.
No, you definitely
because
do.
I remember the beginning, because I don't know if I told you the story, but V called me.
V clearing it up now.
No. It's a story. No, V
this
had.
stuff is smelling good. I'm sorry.
No, V had hit me, and she ended up like, because I do the Modi.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
Modi,
Shout out Modi. Who you got?
Yeah. What's up?
My guy. But we had done that, and it was a paid service, right? She spoke, right, and we had it was a consulting because I didn't know who I saw her when she did the Chicle thing, and I felt her energy, and that's the first thing I did. I was like, yo, I'll fuck with your energy off rip. And then after that, we just developed like a relationship where I saw her working after the conversation we had. She was like, yo, I got shit to do. After that call, she was like, yo, I got shit to do. And I saw her working, and I kept saying, yo, I see you working. Like, not saying that it's not like I'm Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Just saying, like, I was
that's
like,
Diddy,
I want,
bro. That's Puerto Rican Diddy.
I was like, yo, I just see your progress. Like, I see what it is. Yo, I see it. And then recently, she was like, yo, like, she wanted to speak to me, and she was like, yo, I'll on the app or whatever. I said, yo, we passed that. You peoples now, right?
Yeah,
I didn't be like, yo, yeah, let's book a call. No, it's peoples already. Like, it's like, yo, what's up? What you need? You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was. So I don't dub everybody.
Again, I could have been another one and take it in a different way, you know?
Yeah.
So the fact that that's why I say I respect it, because let's say if I'm coming to you guys and I'm like, yo, I got this bag, and you're telling me how you feel, and you're turning me down, I'm going to respect it because you guys are not taking advantage of the situation. Correct. And again, we are in a space where it's like, it's a lot of sharks.
Nah, but so you think
there's a lot of sharks.
We've turned down, decent sized bags to get, luggage, like Mike says. You know what I'm saying? That you know what I'm saying? So and those, the thing is, the no's power the yeses, right?
Absolutely.
So those no's that we've said, it wasn't for an ego thing. It was just that we didn't see the fit for us or even for them. And then we explained to them why we don't see the fit. And some people have liked it and some people have not. And that's just on them.
Yeah.
But for us, our heart is clean and we keep it pushing. And we're on to the next. We don't harp on what we could have had. Oh, man, we could have made whatever, $1 million off of that. We don't even harp on that because ultimately we're working on the next thing. And the next thing is not always a brand deal. It could be a situation that we're building out.
Okay, I know you guys don't harp on that, but as human beings, has there ever been a time where you guys been like, damn, I fumbled?
No. Not since
fumbled like money?
Yeah, I fumbled the bag with this person, with this clientele, whatever.
No, well, I say we had the conversation. I say, yo, we fucked up.
Okay.
And it's not, but the fuck ups, you gotta have those. And again, what you were saying earlier.
When you mean fuck up in what way? Like
no, I'm
just saying there's a client that you turned down in a sense because you feel like it didn't fit.
Oh, we know. No,
those
are never fuck ups.
Yeah, boom.
Those are never fuck ups.
I'm gonna tell you why those are never fuck ups because those same companies, they then fucked up once they did it with somebody else. And we sit back, and then they come back to us like, "Hey, we did X, Y, and Z," and we was like, "Well, we told you it wasn't gonna work."
Okay.
And it's not like, and it's not even an ego thing too. It's just we just know at the moment we know the landscape at the moment. Obviously it's gonna always change, but for the climate of what they wanted when they wanted it, we knew it was gonna happen because we study this stuff every single day. It's almost like somebody that watched stocks.
Yeah.
We study our influencers, I guess their intellectual property. We study what they got going on. We study what the market needs. It's the same concept that we take when it comes to like the market, because that's what they put. It's the market. We watch the market, but the no's powers. It powers the yeses.
Yeah. When I say fuck up, it's like internally.
Gotcha.
Like, yo, we worked with the wrong person.
Yeah.
We said we thought that this was gonna be. That was us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because listen, we've had a situation recently where a brand hit me up.
Yeah.
Like, yo.
Yeah, can I have a conversation?
Working with this person. You know what I'm saying? Working with this person, and it's like, they didn't like it. Right? They didn't want to work with the person anymore. And I said, listen, as a company, I got to take that on the chin, right?
For sure. Yeah,
this is what it is. Yep. And they were like, no, we want to work with you.
Yep.
And, when you and Don were involved, it was completely different.
Yep.
But I had to take that on the chin. I said, if you don't want to work with us, I'll understand that. And I would have had to take that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Had to.
Yeah.
And it was a big brand, too.
Yeah,
but the fact that we've done stuff with them before, and they saw when we were involved how it changed. And it was like, well, when you guys weren't involved, this would happen. So it was like, it's almost like when moms and dad's not around, things happen. Essentially, that's how it became.
Gotcha.
Crazy.
So what's the next phase for this group?
Oh man, I mean, you make a lot of money.
Yes, dude.
And I'm sorry.
The mad hypocrite. Yo, somebody said they want to make a lot of bread. We don't work with you. What's your first thing?
I'm
Oh,
just
make
saying.
money.
So when I mean that in the sense of make a lot of money, I'm not just saying because this group as a collective. I mean in the sense of the next what we're in currently was the next. This is phase 2,
Okay.
right? So we're in phase 2. Now we're in phase 3. So the build. So essentially we built the foundation. Then we started building the house or the mansion or whatever you want to call it on top of the foundation. And now it's time to furnish the rooms and build the inside. So currently that's where we're at now. We're in that phase of the build out. We still can't live there because there's no heat, there's no running water.
There's no
nothing.
heat right now.
But it's all good
Yeah,
though
I'm
because
saying,
you sleeping in the cold though, and the floor, but it's all good. It's mine.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
but that's where we're at currently.
Okay.
And then but as far as production, like when I say production, not more so music, but more so media production. Build out our own shows. Take the approach on becoming a media hub, essentially that can drive, opposed to having to go to other people's. They come to us for the
Gotcha.
content pieces.
Focus is, and also to get more people on the executive side. So
Yes,
more
for sure.
managers.
Gotcha.
Not
You
looking-
want to expand.
Not looking
Yes.
for any more talent. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
we can't take that on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It makes no sense, right? So we want to get more managers to be able to do other things. And
You're not trying to be at the strip club at 2 a.m.?
hell no. Hell no. I wasn't even like that when I was single. Like that's the thing. It's like I'm who I am.
Yeah,
It don't matter who I'm around.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I love being married. You know what I'm saying? Like and even when I was single, I was strip club. I'd be like, I don't want to go strip club. I'd rather go dance.
Gotcha.
I want to watch anything. I want to dance. I don't want to watch nobody dance. I don't care what they got. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what was my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just very, very different. But yeah, no, it's, I like to focus. I always said Monday to Friday. It's now 7 days a week. I try to keep Sundays as, family as much as
Yeah.
possible. But thing is, it's just building. I was telling my wife this morning. And every morning, I'm like, yo, babe, I just want to go.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to go. Like, that's all I want to do. I don't want to hear about no vacation. Like, in Christmas, like the holiday when everybody's off, I can rock with that. I can get to that.
Yeah.
This middle of I don't want to hear about nothing. Like I just want to go. I want to build. I want to just continue to grow this company because I see the vision. I see it. Like I said, he and I talk every single morning. It's like it's just constant. And sometimes he pulls me up. Sometimes I pull him up because it's not
Just
everything
dope.
is not always just skipping around and
Yeah.
hey, everything is
Yeah,
great.
you
Like
go
because
through it.
you go through your things.
You
know
go
what I mean?
you go through these emotions that are up and down, right? So as an entrepreneur, you go through these blocks that sometimes you're like, yo, I don't know if we're gonna make it, and then it's good to have a partner like, bro, yo, shut the fuck up and let's get busy.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
What I'm saying? And on both sides, like, yo, bro, come on, man, pull up your pants and let's go, because we can't. We came too far to just sit in this like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Yo, it's gonna work. And the thing is that people have seen where we started from till now. Everybody's like, yo, how? And I could tell people it's pure willpower, like prayer, willpower, and communication. Like I'm telling, we speak every single morning. That's the power of our company. I'm telling people that, like, without fail, 8 o'clock or 8:15, that phone going to ring. Is going to be one of us on the other end talking to each other.
I mean, communication it's very it's needed because again, you guys need to have that transparency with one another on how to move, because I mean, it makes no sense to have you guys want success, right? Like that's the whole goal. It's
fact.
not even about the money, it's about being successful.
Correct.
I'm assuming, right? Yeah, that's
but
how I
success
look
looks
at
different
it.
from everybody, though.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So
True.
people may just think right here where we at now is success.
Okay.
And we do see that as well. So we do count all our big wins and our little wins because they all create who we are. But the success that we want is for when we turn around, that every single person that we have is a multimillionaire in the sense of that management. That's a personal goal for me. I know for him as well, is that all of them are, not just one, not just two, every single one of them, because of the business that we've built out. That's a goal that's, that we will reach, We just have to finish. We hitting them strides, man, and we really are hustling. We're not here championing like, yo, look at us, this group. We want all the attention, and you know, V, and you see, yo, that was Don in the strip club, or that was Mike over here at you know, Brooklyn Chop House with these people. We don't be doing none of those stuff. I'm not saying whoever does it, that's fine. I'm happy for that. I'm happy for them to have.
God bless.
Yeah, God
bless.
bless.
Do you feel like though, like it's corny to do something?
No,
like
no.
that?
That's what I said. No, seriously, I'm happy for the people that want
Okay.
to do that, because people do make good relationships in those environments. But that's not who we are for our environment.
Okay.
So we take a different approach because we're coming around the block. We're not going through the door. We're going through the back door, because people still look at influencers as they're just what they get on their Instagram, they turn their phone on, or their TikTok on. They don't, they look at it as that still. We're now painting the picture for everybody, and especially for brown and black creators. We work with everybody, but for brown and black creators, we want to make sure that people understand that they are not just talented. Majority of the trends comes from this side.
Yeah.
So we're sure, and sometimes they're the ones that get the short end of the stick.
No,
Majority of the time.
Majority.
So we're the ones now championing that. We're the guys talking about an uncomfortable situation. The brown and black people don't get paid the same. So that's where the light's going to shine on us, because people are going to be like, what are they talking about? They want to know. And we're not doing that for that purpose. It's just the reality of it. And that's
dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. I definitely want to say, congratulations on everything that you guys are doing, because
Thank
again, it's not easy. It takes a lot of discipline just to wake up in the morning at 8 and have that call at 8:15.
It might be a little later if I'm doing compra with my wife, so it might be a little bit later.
It might be a
Sometimes
little.
when
You understand? It takes, but it's. I mean, you're still doing it. It takes confidence to continue working through the no's.
Yeah.
Because you guys, I'm sure you guys get, aside from telling people no's, you guys get no's as well.
course we do.
Of course.
Yeah.
And, and when we're talking about how we move, this is how we move.
Yeah,
It's like what Don said, like, we're not, what other people do is different, and that's fine. Like, when he was talking about the job house, whatever, like, also, you got dudes that's younger. They're 25 years old. You sitting there, you could watch this and be like, yo, this dude 48. Of course he ain't trying to go out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is different. Everybody is different.
Yeah.
You rock out. And, again, we joke about this, like my brother Vic. God bless.
God bless.
Do what you're going to do.
God bless.
God bless.
You know what I mean?
But for us, this is how we
This is how
decide
we
to
roll,
move.
man.
And, again, it's us. I feel like we're like uncles. And I think in this space, it's always good to have that, because there's not a lot of people doing that, even just in personal lives. You don't have a lot of young people getting inspiration, getting mentorship from anybody for anything. For sure. So for us, we always feel like, of course, we're going to say, yeah, we're the best place to come to because of our morals and everything like that. But you come here, when you rock with us, like, you learn, right? Like, we care. So, everybody do what they do.
Yeah.
This is just what we
we
choose to do on this side.
Lastly, I definitely got to give you guys my infamous question, and it would be, as a team, when was the last time you guys did something for the first time?
As a team, I'm going to say you got this spot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
That's it.
This is, I mean,
Yeah.
and we're putting conferences on together. Like,
Yeah.
these are things we've I don't want to say we've never done. We've had our hands in them, but this is us. Like, we're making some changes where we're at right now. This is us. We've had this is us.
Facts.
You know what I mean? This is really us, and we've never done it before. So
That's dope.
Yeah. CCX coming, creator.
yeah, content creation experience. In
Content
Miami.
creation experience. See, that's why we balanced
Miami.
in Miami from the 1st to the 4th at the Royal Palms Hotel in South Beach.
More info coming.
It's going to be coming. More info coming. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be really, really. And we partnered. Well, we partnered with a Learn Abroad company. It's an educational company.
Okay.
So it's going to be pretty dope. So definitely.
That's dope.
Yeah. V, we want to talk about it, man. We want you down here, man.
No, definitely. Listen, we here at this group. You understand? They had me here, this beautiful setup.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm loving it. You understand? The room. I mean, listen, when I came in here, I was like a little in shock, you know?
know what
'cause
I'm
I was
saying?
like,
We
oh,
out here.
shit.
I've
You
been
understand?
here before, and they
I've been here before, you
different.
understand? But
we
it's
look good.
definitely, the way you guys are fixing everything up, it's so dope. And it's not only about the way you guys are fixing it up. It's the fact that you guys have a space. It's
Oh,
this
yeah.
space. You
You
understand?
know what I mean?
So
That's the name of it, too. This space.
beautiful, you know?
NYC. So
Yeah.
the goal, just so you know, this is a proof of concept.
Yeah.
We want to have these in other
Other-
urban
other
communities. So this
cities,
space
yeah.
LA, this space Miami,
This
and
space-
we're really trying to create this new version of a boys and girls club
Yeah.
to learn how to become all of
wow.
these things. So that's why
Yeah,
we're putting
we-
these curriculums together.
Yeah, there's a lot, man.
That's
Yeah, it's a lot.
dope.
Yeah, it's a
Like you
lot.
see, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. So listen, where can everybody find you? Again, guys, they're not looking for clientels.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
you manage-
I'm gonna be ducking around like this.
If you're a manager,
Hit 'em with
editor,
a little kill, you know what I mean? A
videographer,
little kill.
you know, but where can they find you? You know, I want individual and the company as well, and all that good stuff.
all right, everything business-wise is this group INC. So that's really the IG is the page. You can find me through there. I'm not even pushing my individual anymore.
Okay.
Like dead at and I'm not saying for you not to.
'Cause I'm pushing.
He's
bruh.
like, I'm pushing it.
I'm not like this group. THISGROUPINC. That's it.
Yeah, that you can find us on this group, as he said. But you can also find me if you want to send me a DM. I may practice my dubbing skills, but I don't know
He's
yet.
practicing. He's
Yeah,
practicing.
so Don Works. So that's with 2 S. That's Don Works. But majority of the time, we're both on the page. So you follow us at this group INC on everything.
And
so.
that's Don Works, not Don Unemployed, right?
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah,
Justin.
yeah,
Don
Justin.
trabaja. Don
Yeah,
trabaja.
Don Trabajaba, you heard? I'm about to guys speak Spanish. Yeah?
Don trabaja.
Don Trabajaba, you heard? We appreciate you though.
Yo, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be following them. You already know, man. Hit the link in the description box. It's free. Follow them.
Hit
You
'em.
already know the vibes. It's your girl V-Henny, man.
V-Henny.
Rock out with your cocks out. Jam out with your clam out. We out. The Artistry.
Catch us on YouTube, Facebook, or outlets.
Follow us.